Hello and welcome to the F1 Esports Roundup here at the Gfinity Arena in Fulham Broadway, and what a second event we have had. It wasn't really the F1 show, it was the David Tonizza and the Fredrick Rasmussen show. They absolutely ran away with it. Great result for both of them. We're going to come to them shortly, but let's run you through all the teams. Just showing you the rigs though, because if you don't have one of these home, not many people do. They are very expensive. This is essentially what they are. So you have your play seat here. You've got your Fanatec steering wheel, very nice. Lots of different buttons, as you can see. So you've got lots of different buttons. This one obviously toggles for your likes of your ERS and your rich mix. And of course the brake pedals, if you want to take a further look at that as well. There were issues, if you remember, back into event 1 for Daniel Bresnay with his brakes. So essentially you've got a load cell. Isaac, you want to come a bit more around here, have a look at the brakes from the back. You've got the load cells, you've got these little rubbers here that have different strengths, and the amount of force that maybe Danny was pressing onto the brakes was breaking those rubbers and of course essentially ruining the brakes as well. But let's go for a little bit of a wonder. We will start off with up there where the Ferrari boys performed. That's where the Ferrari boys were. David Tonizza, 8th in the first race, off to a slow start, but first in race 2 in Austria, and then he got a 4th place in Silverstone. So good, solid performance from Tonizza. It wasn't the race win and the domination that he had in the first round of events, but still solid, still up there in the championship. His teammate Lorito, 19th and 16th, not good. Then they put Giglioli in the car, got his name right this time. Took me a while back in our little Esports 101 video, but I think I got it right that time around. And he, unfortunately, no points for him as well. So Ferrari they're doing well with Tonizza and they're up the top, but they need to maybe look into having a solid second driver, because they don't really have that at the moment. Tonizza's run away with it. He is definitely a great performer, but they need to find that second driver to get the points if they want to take on the likes of the other teams. Red Bull now looking hot on their heels, because we'll get to Red Bull now. And Fredrick Rasmussen, 4th, 2nd and 2nd. And I want to talk a little bit about Fredrick Rasmussen, who was up there in the play seats. He is quite conservative in his performance, very much like a sort of Alan Prost style, in the way that he will just pick up the points. He won't go for that win if he doesn't need to. This championship is all about consistency. If you are consistent, you will be up at the top. So I'm just trying to see if there is anybody around from Red Bull that I can talk to, which I cannot see. But you need to be consistent if you want to perform well in this esports series, because one penalty, one collision, a little bit of front wing damage, which we saw in Bahrain for Rasmussen, can put you from one end of the field to the other. So you definitely need to have consistency. We're going to quickly move on to Alpha, because I've seen a few Alpha guys. Jamie, for the team manager for Alpha, and obviously Veloce as well.
Yeah,
there we go, the big V. Again, a tale of two halves really, but sort of mixed the other way this time. You had Danny Bresnay 13th, 5th and 3rd in all the races, and Sally 11th, 10th and 16th. So it switched the other way.
Yeah.
Was it bad luck? Was it just the performance not there? What's...
Look, we've had a kind of 2 events that haven't gone our way so far. This event wasn't so much technical equipment, it was more an element of bad luck, some mistakes from some of our drivers, key mistakes in qualifying, either going wide at corners, getting tracking validations, and at this level it's so difficult to come back from far back on the grid. Arav.
It's Arav over there. Come on, no, come in. Your team principal. Your team principal as well. How do you feel? I was saying to Jamie, it's been a tale of two halves. Yeah. Good day for Bresnay, bad day for Saltunk. And we were saying, was it a case of poor performance or just bad luck? Again, like you had in the first event.
No, I don't think we can say it's bad luck exactly, because we didn't get exactly the huge equipment issues that we had. But I think it's just maybe in the moment, it is a pressurised situation for Sally perhaps to perform on the day, but we back him, we know how fast he can be, and I think just today it leaves room for improvement for him. And for Danny, obviously we're just trying to build up confidence back that we kind of lost from event number 1. So and he's done that with the podium at the end, so I think we can just build on that, and 6 races to go. Let's just smash it, really.
Yeah, a long way left to go. We're only halfway through, so all the results that haven't gone your way can go your way in the final, 6 races. And the guys who are running up at the top can have those slip-ups that you guys have had so far.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think Tonizza and Rasmussen haven't had bad luck yet. They haven't had races where things haven't gone their way. So let's hope the second half of the season is a little bit stronger. Spa's coming up, which is Danny's favourite track, and I know Sally's desperate to make amends for this event. So
cool. Well, wish you best of luck in the next event, and we'll see you around in the office soon enough. Go enjoy tonight. Where are we off to?
Home, I think.
We're off for many drinks. Don't worry, we talk about drinks on this one. I'll see you at the pub later. Right, so let's go back to Red Bull then. So, Fredrick Rasmussen, fourth, second. I was saying he is a little bit conservative, and like Alan Prost, in the way that if he knows that he can get second and get good points, then he will not go for the overtake. And I feel that was happening quite a lot in, especially Austria. I was watching his ERS, all right? Okay, I was looking at this, I was being technical, not usually stuff that I'm good at, but I was doing it, and he was switching between his ERS, so he'd go up into 4, which you want for the overtake, but then like halfway down the straight he'd put it into 0. He'd hold in that slipstream, get as close to Tonizza as possible, but wouldn't really go for the overtake. Tonizza would go defensive, but Rasmussen wouldn't really go for the move around the outside. I feel like he would only go for the overtake if he knew it was 100% possible. As Matthew Gallagher's trying to leave the scene, I'm going to have a couple of words with you.
Hi, Ted.
Hello.
Hello.
How did you find that first event?
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, it was, I think the last
event.
race, second event, 6 races in already, halfway through. Last race was really good. I think the first 2 could have been better had some moves been made. Yeah. But the last one kind of teed us up nicely for event 3, I guess.
And not much from you on the pad, say. Only one of the races. Why is the Anthony Davidson role slipping away from you? Is it? And you're coming more on the floor.
I know. I'm like centre stage. No, it was more just chat between the guys. Like, okay, not really much had happened in the second race, so we just decided let's just talk about it on the floor. Again, with the third, it was very much like, right, we need to decide early if we're going to go on the touchpad or not. Obviously, we had the move for the lead with Marcel, but that was a bit late. So, but no, it's all right. I still get to natter on no matter if I'm down here.
You're having good fun. You're doing a brilliant job. Where are you off to? Are you off on your hollybobs?
No, I'm dropping off my suitcase to the hotel that I'm staying at.
Oh, I see. All fancy over here.
I have to bring stuff to make me look half presentable for the show.
So this shirt makes one appearance every month?
2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you've got this one and the burgundy one, which we see a lot. So do you just switch between those 2?
Absolutely. They are my F1 Esports show shirts. There you go.
Where are we off to tonight?
TBC?
TBC?
Yeah.
So,
to be confirmed.
Oh, okay. I was like, that could be a club name. We went to one called 151 last time, so who knows? Awful place. Don't go there. Right, well, wherever we end up, I'll see you out there.
Cool. With not that.
Maybe, we'll see. See you later. Right, so Red Bull, we'll get there. So it was just a bit conservative, and picking up the points, consistency is key, and that is all that really matters. Joni Tomla 5th, then a 20th place, so good day for him. And unlike Ferrari, picking up the points with their second driver. So, good. And a great move, actually, from Fredrick Rasmussen, I forgot to mention, at Silverstone. Round the outside of Brooklands, then inside of Luffield. I said he would only go for the move if it's 100% possible. It was 100% possible, and he made it stick. So well done to him. Now, moving on to Racing Point, which up there, and we had our first-time race winner in Silverstone for Marcel Kiefer. He had a great performance in the first event, getting a podium, I think a 4th, and I think some good points in the final race as well. Struggled quite a bit, actually. In the first 2 races, 14th and 11th, but then got that race win, put the performance on the live show. Maybe he just really performs under pressure when everybody is watching him and he knows they are. So great result for him, and a great overtake as well on Fredrick Rasmussen. Rasmussen move was fantastic on Tormala, but Marcel Kiefer, he made a great move on Fredrick Rasmussen up into diving up the inside and managed to make it stick. And he also gained from the overcut. So Tonizza did the undercut, didn't work out, and Marcel Kiefer gained from that. Now, moving on to Alfa Romeo. We talked about it briefly, so I'll run through this one quickly because we've already talked with the guys. Good day for Daniel Beresne, bad day for Sai Soltong. Good day. You've got the podium. Come on, you can be happy about that.
We want to win championships,
we want
to win races, we want to win quali sessions, and we did neither of those today, so it's not a good day, it's just more acceptable compared to the last one.
This is what I love about you. You get a podium and you're just like, we can do better, and you're all about the team as well. It's not just like, oh, I can do better, I can get the win. You're like, we can do better.
Something else about me, but he can't say it on camera.
Sorry, what? Right, moving on. See you later. Have a good evening. Right, Renault. Great performance from Renault, in all fairness to them. Two guys who weren't in the Esports Series last year, Jarno Opmeer and Fredrick Rasmussen, or Thom, I think you say his name. Third and first for those guys. Opmeer getting third, Rasmussen getting first, so double podium for those guys. Great result for them. And then third and fourth, sort of getting the move done. I actually forgot to mention Tino Narkarinen hitting Daniel Bresnay in Austria, and that gave the positions to Jarno Opmeer and Fredrick Rasmussen. So third and fourth for those guys. Then we had Simon Vigag, as Isaac has pointed out to me. I'm terrible with pronunciation on names, so yeah, put that in the bloopers reel. He came into the car and got points in his debut, so good result for him. I think it was P9 in the end for Canada. We haven't actually had the confirmed results here, so the notebook is a little bit annoying to do when you don't get final results. Right, who is next to talk about? Then we have a McLaren Shadow. So, sorry, clearing my throat there. 7th place for Bono Huis, good result for him. 2 7th places actually, in all fairness, a double points finish in both races. And McLaren again, just like in event 1, was very much just average, I suppose. You're getting points, and consistency is key in this championship, especially as it is a teams championship, and it's all about getting points and, you know, trying to get that big money prize for the team. So to get points in every single race is exactly what you need to be doing. So 7th place, you've got to be happy with that at the end of the day. Enzo Benito 16th in the first race, got an unsafe release, and then also a 3-second time penalty for in-game. And we actually need to talk about this. In Canada, unsafe release on the pit lane. Lots of drivers got penalties. It went to Rasmussen, lost the race win in the first race. Narkarinen got one as well. Who else got one? Haddad got the penalty for that as well. So lots of drivers getting a penalty. And what do you guys think? I want to know from you guys in the comment section below. Do you feel like it's very strict? Okay, the rules are the rules, but it's millimetres between what is a penalty and what isn't a penalty, and you're cutting that pit lane exit by a fraction. Like, it's honestly a fraction. It's like that much. So is it worthy of a penalty? Isn't it? Rules are rules. It's hard to say. So I want to know what your opinion is on that. So yeah, don't forget to leave it down in the comment section below. Right, McLaren. Bono Huis getting the fast lap as well, so well done to him in second race, which was Austria. And then Enzo Benito getting more penalties, +3 for speeding in the pit lane in Canada. Right, Mercedes over here. Here are the Mercedes rigs. Brendan Lee sitting in this one, and then you had Patrick Kreutz sitting over here. So not a good day for Patrick, in all honesty. Beat his teammate in the first race of the day, I believe. If I look at my notes, looking on the wrong page, which would obviously help if I was on the right one. No, sorry, first race 20th, not a good day. 9th in the second race, so picking up points in the second race. So yeah, good result for him. Obviously beating Brendan Lee. Brendan Lee being a top performer, if you beat your teammate, you're going to be happy with that. Obviously it's different in F1 Esports because you're all in the same cars, so beating anybody is basically the same. So yeah, P9, but then the last race, if you can think of bad, times that by 100 and then pour tar and feathers on yourself, because that's basically what happened to Patrick in race number 3. He got a drive-through penalty for jumping the start, doing his best Kimi Räikkönen impression, and then he decided to get out of here, you get out of here. He decided to then speed coming into the pit lane to serve that drive-through penalty, getting another 5-second penalty. And I was just watching him as he was serving his actual pit stop, and he looked absolutely devastated with what was going on. So you got to feel for the guy. He's in a top-performing team. They were Constructors Champions last year. There's got to be a lot of pressure on his shoulders, replacing someone like Daniel Bresnay, and he has been doing an all-right job for the team because Brendan Lee hasn't really been performing too well, but we'll get to him in a sec. But yeah, you got to feel for him when he's sitting like that, and he's just like, you know, the weight of Mercedes is all on his shoulders. Hello.
Hello.
Well done on your race win. We were just talking about you earlier. You were up there doing your own thing. I can't interrupt that. How'd that go for you? Obviously, win. We talked about the first 2 races. Not that great, but you pulled it back at the end. Great move for the lead.
Well, it was all just luck. It wasn't down to me. So no, just kidding. I mean, I planned it actually from the beginning of the race. I already thought I would go for the overcut, but it depended on when David and Fredrick would pit. So I was just sitting behind, saving ERS and checking out what's happening. And then I just.
Please make your way out of the arena.
Oh well, that's good.
Team needs, so welcome to stay at the team room.
Yes, thank you. But yeah, then I just executed it clean and cool, and I knew I had more ERS, I had better tires, so it was just the mental edge, I think, and yeah, then my first win.
Going into the next few races, what have we got? We've got Germany, Spa and Italy, yes? Yeah. How do you feel going into those next few races? Can you carry on that momentum of this race win?
Well, let's just say the last races were P13, so everything can happen. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I will just try. I will try my best. It's obviously perfect if I just win from now on the rest of the season and win both titles. But I don't know if it will happen. I doubt that this is possible, especially in esports when everything is so tight and everyone is so good. I mean, also your drivers from Alpha, they are incredible, like Sully and Danny. Biggest respect to them. They've done a massive step up from last year, even though they didn't have the luck yet. So yeah, I think it's just still all open for everyone.
We wish you the best of luck in the third event, and maybe we'll see you up at the top again and fighting for that championship as well.
Hopefully, thank you.
Right, see you later. Right, we need to wrap up this quickly because they are kicking us out. So Mercedes, Brendan Lee, second. We thought that he was back, but then unfortunately 14th in the second race, and I think he got 7th in Canada in Silverstone. Still yet to get those results, so that's a little bit annoying. But we thought he was back, and then unfortunately, last 2 races didn't really pull it out. Williams. Lots to talk about Williams, but we've got to really run through this. So Tino was 6th and 8th. He had a crash with Daniel Berezne in the second race in Austria, put him down the field. Very unfortunate for those guys. Caraton, though, getting 5th in the final race. So good points for Williams. And like I said with McLaren, you know, if you can have that consistency, you are going to be performing up at the top. Haas, not really anything to talk about Haas. Unfortunately, I think they might have got points in the final race from Felix Weijers. So I think they might have got points in the final race, but nothing compared to the other teams, unfortunately. 15th, 17th, 13th, 19th. So again, down at the back of the field, not really where they want it to be. So got to be gutting for Haas, and they definitely need to look at what they are doing back at home in the practice sessions and try and improve and see how they can get better. Right, final team then, Toro Rosso. We spoke to Jem Bullock-Bassi last time out, and maybe gave him, my chat with him might have given him a few tips and told him how to do well, because he got 9th. So 2 points there for Jem Bullock-Bassi, getting his first points for the season. I think he might have got 10th as well in Silverstone. Again, I have to say this, I don't know the results for Silverstone because they've not come through classified, unfortunately. But Patrick Holtzman, I think he got 6th as well in the final race. So good points for Toro Rosso if that is true. And a good day all round for those guys. Not amazing, but consistency again is key, and hopefully for those guys it will move them a little bit up in the championship. So we're about to get kicked out, so that's all we've really got time for the F1 Esports Roundup. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. Don't forget to like and subscribe on the Veloce Esports channel. If you are enjoying this series, let us know in the comment section below, and we will see you next time for round 3, event 3 of the F1 Esports Series. Hello and welcome to the F1 Esports Notebook here at the Gfinity Arena. We've had our first race, and what an event it was. David Tonizza taking the F1 Esports stage by storm, coming into the F1 series, and no one really expected Ferrari to do well.